Hey everybody, Brad Stevens here, founder and CEO of Outsource Access, and so excited to bring you another edition of How Outsourcing Works, and this is the e-commerce edition, where we're going to be talking about exactly how you can use offshore, virtual staff, virtual assistants, business process outsourcing, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people have different names for what we do in our industry, but we're going to be diving in and explaining kind of how it works. And I got an awesome guest today, Roz, one of our Outsource Access virtual staff, working for an amazing client in the e-commerce space. This is a really interesting business, which we're going to be talking about. But the whole reason why we created this series, and I'm actually sitting in our office here in the Philippines, Cagayan de Oro, where we're based. Beautiful office here. Our team can all work remote and virtually, which they love a part of it, but we've got a great office here. And actually here visiting for our annual trip. We've grown to 500 employees in just 4.5 years, servicing about 70 different industries and doing all kinds of work for our clients. Customer service, operation, marketing, sales, very bespoke for each client. And we created this series because we find that a lot of people have that question, look, how does this actually work? We're beyond kind of top of funnel awareness, knowing that offshore virtual resources, exist. But people just struggle connecting the dots. And, for many years, I spent time traveling all over the country doing workshops with business owners, and I would spend 3 hours with a whole room of people and try and explain to them this whole world. How does it work? And they would begin the workshop, and I would see their eyes just open up through the whole experience as I share case studies, examples, behind the scenes, like I'm going to be sharing with Ross today. And so we want to create this series to address those questions on an industry-specific basis. So whether you're in e-commerce or any other industry, I think you'll find this specifically valuable because it applies to any industry, but we wanted to focus specifically on e-commerce if you happen to be in that space and unpack some of the things we're doing for a client in that exact industry. So we will get underway here with Roz. Thanks so much for being with me.
Thank you so much, Brad, for having me, and also Outsource Access. Hello, everyone.
Hopefully got a lot of viewers, not only on the client side and our prospects, but also a lot of our employees I know love watching watching our content. So Roz has been with a client. I'll let her share kind of her journey in the e-commerce space and doing some really cool things in supporting him in other divisions and another business actually that he launched as well. But first of all, let's talk about you and kind of where are you from relative to kind of our office here, and sort of a little bit of your background, and then kind of what brought you to Outsource Access.
Okay. Well, you might be surprised. I'm not actually born here in Cagayan de Oro City. I am born and raised in Zamboanga del Sur. It's an 8-hour drive from Cagayan. Yeah. Yes.
We're so thankful you came to visit and come to do this interview with me.
It's a pleasure. And also, I came here in Cagayan de Oro when my father started working here. So I grabbed...
How old were you?
I'm 25.
Wow, so you're 25 now, and how old were you when you came to Cagayan?
I actually went here when I was, I think, 16.
Okay.
Yes, around 2015.
Gotcha.
Yes, and I went here to study for college, and after I graduated, I then have my first job here in Cagayan de Oro City. So basically, I kind of lived here for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then things happened. I redirected my path, and I went back home.
And what did you major in, just kind of in college? Like what did you kind of focus on?
I actually majored in, it's actually a broad course or program. It's Technology Communication Management. We can be in all different paths or areas. We can be newscasters, we can be bank tellers, we can work in various industries.
That's interesting. I've never heard that in the States. I don't think I've ever actually heard that specific type of role, but yeah, so it gives you a lot of flexibility of paths that you could take. So what was the first job that you did here in CDO?
The first job that I had, I was an ESL teacher, English as second language.
Oh, nice.
And I teach English to Japanese students. It's an office-based job, so my previous work was around the city proper, and I taught the different kinds of students, from children to adult students.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yes.
I've heard that kind of a growing as a lot of companies are offering that type of service here. You guys are fantastic in delivering that content. So you did that for several years, and then what was the next step? And
then after I resigned, because I worked there for 3 years, tutor, and then there's an opening for trainer, so I applied, and then I resigned, and I went home to my hometown, I work as a lead generation specialist. It's
nice.
client-based BPO.
Gotcha.
Yes, and then after the journey still doesn't end there. I resigned after that one because I wanted to experience a lot more. So I went back to teaching, and then I found out Outsource Access.
Oh, fantastic. It was like an online job, or did a friend refer you to us, or?
For Outsource Access, actually, my friend who's working here introduced me to Outsource Access. I have to thank her. I have to thank her because if it's not because of her, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be facing you. I wouldn't be answering these questions. You know, the opportunity that she gave to me in line with Outsource Access is really huge because it's my first official VA job. So I'm really, really grateful.
Well, thank you so much, and that's our core values. They actually spell the word great, and the very first one is G, and it's gratitude, and it's something that we don't just have on the wall, but it's actually something that we practice and share when we're giving feedback to one another. So thanks so much for sharing that. Awesome. So that kind of brought you to us, and so how long have you been with us now?
I've been here for almost 4 months.
Gotcha. So just started not too long ago,
Yeah.
and then so the journey for you with us, with the client that you're working with, so kind of share a little bit of your client, and so the e-commerce space, so what's his business, and what's your experience? I know you're working directly with him, one of his staff, like kind of what's the business you're working with?
Okay, so my client is Sean Clancy. He's the president of Container Technology, Inc., and he also has Tanks for Wine. Let me just quickly differentiate these two. So Container Technology specializes in all poly IBC totes, which focuses on hazardous and chemicals and transporting them. And Tanks for Wines, basically it's for wines, ciders, it's Vino Pro Tank Stacker.
Oh wow, so it's for transport.
Yes.
Gotcha. So it's all online based, selling these containers, both new and used, in kind of those two different industries.
Yes. They use both online and customer to customer basis.
Gotcha.
Because they have a sales team who also reach out to customers around the area.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
So what was your experience like? So when we work with clients, one of the things that we do, you know, when they show interest in working with us, we have a kind of a signature process to do a deep dive discovery, to really understand what are their growth constraint issues, kind of in two buckets. What are things that they're doing that aren't the best use of their time, that they're wanting to transition, or things that they're not getting to in their business due to time, money, or knowledge constraints. And so we kind of unpack all of that to kind of figure out what the needs are, to then find the right talent, such as yourself, to be paired with them to support him. So what has your journey been like? So in the 4 months you've been with him, what are the types of tasks that you've been introduced to, you're engaging, and what has it started with? And typically a lot of times our clients start, and once they build trust and confidence in the experience, they start layering on other things.
Well, during the first month, I started working with their socials, not really handling their social medias because they have Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn. They have also constant contact, but I'm not yet handling those platforms. What I do for them during the first month, up until now, I tend to create social pins or social media contents.
Oh, nice.
For Ron, the VP of Sales, to schedule posting and to also spread it out to their different platforms. And you know, the first month was really, really good. I mean, up until now, it's still good, still fun and collaborative because I've been working directly to Ron, the VP of Sales. I've been collaborating with him for ideas, contents, and whatnot. And aside from creating the graphics for social pins, I also do administrative tasks. I kind of do some filing and moving of files for the accounting department.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so very minor, but very critical as well because the files are very critical when it comes to time and also to the labeling and whatnot. So I have to be very, very sure of what I'm doing. And also,
one of our core values is attention to detail, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we can't do what we do. The nature of we're working integrated into our client's business and taking on detailed tasks. And so attention to detail has obviously been a key part of your success.
Exactly. And aside from those mentioned, I also work with UPS, Unishippers. I prepare or create the labels for their shipment. I also prepare the packing slip. I input the information requested or given by the sales team, and then I create the labels, and then I turn it over or send it over to the one requesting it. And it's actually very fun doing that. That's my favorite task, basically. But yeah, and also I do some other ad hoc, like tasks that Ron might think on the day. And
kind of as needed, some ideas he comes up
yes.
with. And you remember an example of one at all recently?
Oh, which is I'm very proud of. I recreated their organizational chart that was made 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and the president actually liked it. So I'm very proud of that.
That's fantastic. And that's what we love. I mean, we choose our clients we work with, very importantly, because I mean, a key element to our culture in our companies, we want our employees to feel engaged with our clients, and they want to have a sense of personal impact, so they can feel like they're making an impact with their clients. Mm-hmm. So what tool did you end up using to build the org chart? Just doing a visual graphic design? So they kind of gave you the org chart, all the employees, all the different roles, and then you helped visually. What did you create it in?
Yes, the old org chart was given. The pictures, I kind of collaborated with the other staff as well, because there are people who are no longer in the family, so I have to collaborate and ask for new pictures, new photos, and whatnot. And then I created different kind of concepts and designs, 3 to be exact, so that Sean, the president, could choose whatever he wants.
Sure.
And I want him to be happy, of course.
No, it sounds like he was. So, I mean, and I appreciate you sharing that whole range of things, right? So that's the key element in our business and Outsource Access. It's about hiring people that are fast learners, good communicators, and can take feedback, right? And so you clearly have demonstrated that. So you're doing everything from creative work, social media work, and posting content, and help creating content, and ideation, and the creative side, down to doing spreadsheet work and data administration, and helping manage file movement, all the way to like reorging, org charts, and so it's a range of things. So there's consistent tasks that we end up absorbing that are repeatable, consistent things that you're doing.
Yes.
But then ad hoc, they know that they have a trusted, confident resource. Those things that probably fell in that bucket are not getting done due to time, money, or knowledge constraints. A lot of times in businesses, there's just this collection of things. And when they have someone like Roz working with them, then all of a sudden those things can get done. They've probably been wanting to do that org chart for years. 3 years it hasn't been done, but now, right, you're able to help take that on. So that's a perfect example. So is there any feedback, I mean, that you've heard? I mean, obviously they've kind of given you some feedback about the work, but just anything you recall, words or things that they've shared to you on the impact it's had for them, on the work that you've done for them, either personally or for the business?
Yes. Actually, Ron is very vocal when it comes to feedback. He's very appreciative. That's what I like about him. If there's something that needs to be improved, he quickly share it to me, and then he quickly advised me on what to do. And he appreciates all the things that I do for the sales and marketing team, also for the company itself. And one thing he mentioned during our call was, I'm very quick to respond. Yes, I'm alert. And I think that's something I like about myself too, because if there are new mails, because we communicate in Outlook, that's our communication platform. Yep. And sometimes there is a little bit of time constraints, but I'm very quick, so very alert. When the bell rings, I already check, okay, Ron is sent a message. So I responded quickly.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. The client's giving feedback, and again, we like to choose clients that know how to work with and appreciate the work that we're doing. And as human beings, we like to be recognized that we exist in the work that we're doing, and like to be a part of something bigger, than ourselves a lot of times. And So we try to provide that for our employees here and a lot of the bigger picture things that we do, a lot of impact work. But we love seeing it at the client level when they're giving positive feedback so that our staff can feel like they're having an impact along the way. So that's fantastic to hear, both just general accolades on the quality of the work, but also giving you feedback on, on responsiveness. And we certainly have hours in which we work, but our team is flexible as they can be with our clients to make sure that they're responsive. Because a lot of times, time zones ends up being a question, but a lot of the work we're doing can be done kind of at any time. And a lot of our staff end up working kind of like hybrid hours. So there's some direct live communication and sort of while they're sleeping, you're able to get some things done and kind of vice versa. So it's a way, honestly, our clients can kind of be around the clock, kind of having two different time zones that they're working together.
Yes, 100% agree.
Well, Roz, thank you so much for making the trip 8 hours into Cagayan to come and be with me and interview. And she's going to be a chance to, we actually here in our office is going to have our state of the company meeting we do every quarter, and we actually bring all of our employees either virtually or in person to share our entire company update. So we're excited you can be here, participate with us today. So if you are in the e-commerce industry, any kind of related e-commerce, you heard some examples of the things that Roz are doing, or any industry. We're in 75 different industries. We'd love to have a chance to connect up. Specifically, if you want to go to outsourceaccess.com/e-commerce, you can go to a landing page there. They'll have this video that'll be there. There'll also be some a webinar you can subscribe to, a detailed playbook of things we're doing in the e-commerce industry, so you can see even in more granular level some of the things we talked about. And also a link just to book a call. If you want to do a complimentary call with one of our team members to go through and assess what your constraints or things that you need help with, you can book with them right there. So thanks again, Roz, for being here. And until next time, this is the latest episode of How Outsourcing Works, e-commerce edition. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.